Welcome back. We've brought CTV film critic Richard Crouse back on this Friday night because this is a big time of year for movies. Hi, Richard.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. This is festival season, the Atlantic International Film Festival next week. But of course, right now, it's TIFF celebrating its 50th anniversary. It launched with a big, glitzy Canadian debut last night. Much anticipated documentary on John Candy. We're going to talk about that, but first, let's take a look.
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog.
Gus Polinski, polka king of the Midwest.
Del Griffith, director of sales, shower curtain ring division.
Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me.
I've never heard of anybody who doesn't like John Candy, and frankly, I would be suspicious of them if they didn't. You were there. How was the evening?
There were some cool things that happened yesterday. So Colin Hanks, who directed the film, and Ryan Reynolds, who is the producer of the film, both huge John Candy fans, arrived in the car, or a replica of the car, from Plane, Trains, and Automobiles that kind of blows up and smokes everywhere. And so as soon as they get out of the car, the whole thing was engulfed in smoke, and it was a really cool little moment to pay tribute to that movie. And then they get inside, and they both spoke. Colin Hanks said, as they were starting on this film, Martin Short told them, "You won't find anyone who has anything bad to say about John Candy." And he said, "We didn't. What we did, though, was tell the most honest story that we could." So they tell the story of a larger-than-life guy who became extraordinarily famous, died at a young age, but also battled things that were very much kept out of the public, like his struggles with anxiety and that sort of thing. And so that was nicely portrayed and nicely captured in the film. But the night was just kind of special because Ryan Reynolds had a suit made for the night. It had maple leaves on the back and that sort of thing. And on the inside, it was inscribed with John Candy character names. Oh. So that was pretty cool. Mark Carney got up and spoke. Apparently, Mark Carney is a huge John Candy fan. And he had some sort of interesting insights into, you know, his enjoyment of the movies and why he likes John Candy. And then he slowly kind of turned the whole night around, comparing John Candy's roles in film and the way that often he'd start off as a humble man full of humility, and then when up against it, when something would happen, he would explode. And Candy has something, or Carney said, Canada's sovereignty and identity came under threat recently. When that happened, Canadians channeled their inner John Candy. They stood up, elbows up, and wrote their own lines. And it was just a nice parallel between what we're about to see and what's been happening in the country lately. So it was an interesting night. John Candy's son and daughter were there. His widow Rose was there, as well as a good number of the cast of SCTV. So it was quite a night to be there.
Yeah, and that's going to stream on Prime, right?
It will on October 10th, I think.
Okay. Let's take a moment here and talk about a movie I know you're very excited to see. You haven't seen it yet. Frankenstein. It's been done over and over, but this is Guillermo del Toro's passion project. Here's a look.
I had determined that the memory of my evils should die with me.
So, this is something he's been dying to put to screen for quite some time, isn't it?
I've been interviewing Guillermo del Toro for at least 20 years, and I'm a Frankenstein nerd, as is he, although he's probably a bigger Frankenstein nerd than I am. But he always talked about it. He always talked about how he just written a script, how he was getting the money together to make this, and you know, one thing or another would get in the way. Now he's finally made it. He shot part of it in Toronto, part in Scotland. And, you know, he's going back to the text, to the Mary Shelley book, but he's filtering it through his own sensibilities. He's had decades since he first read this book as a young man to think and imagine what he wants this movie to be. And so I cannot wait. It's almost 3 hours long. Oof. I would sit there if it was 6.5 hours long and watch Guillermo del Toro's idea of Frankenstein come to life on the screen. I'm seeing this one on the weekend and I cannot wait.
Okay, we'll look forward to what you have to say about that. Okay, look, I want to finish with a film with very strong maritime roots, We talked about it off camera. It's going to debut at TIFF. It's called Little Lorraine. It's also going to be a gala production, a gala showing at the Atlantic International Film Festival next Saturday. Tell us a little bit about this, what makes it special. It's based on a song, right, by Adam Baldwin?
Which is based on a true story, yeah. So it takes place in Cape Breton, and the mines have closed. There's economic hardships, and the uncle of one of the main characters, played by the great Stephen McHattie, shows up and says, "Listen, I've got a way we can all make some money. It'll be easy, and don't sweat it." And it involves moving big amounts of cocaine. And this apparently took place in the 1980s there. And of course, the story gets a lot darker. Whenever somebody says, "Don't worry about it, it'll be easy," it's never that easy. But Andy Hines is the director. Now, Andy Hines, the last name certainly is very famous because his father is Sherman Hines, who I grew up just down the street from in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, at a gallery just up the street from my dad's store. And I knew him when I was a young man. And Andy has gone on to become a very successful director of music videos. And he's directed videos for all the top flight hip hop and rap acts. Now he's getting into making feature films. Little Lorraine is his debut, and I've seen it. It's a really cool, gritty little film that sets this crime story against the beautiful backdrop of Cape Breton. And it's nice stuff. It's called Little Lorraine, playing at TIFF, and then coming to Halifax.
Okay, that's great. Always good to end with a little Canadiana, even better if it's the Maritimes. Richard, thank you for that. Enjoy the very busy TIFF weekend you have ahead of you, and talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Todd.
More entertainment still ahead. We'll be right back.